Well, hi, y'all. What you doing? I was just I was just laying here. I got to bed late. It's already close to 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't believe it. I don't know how the time went by like that. I was busy today. What I did was I took some of my sewing scraps and I have the square ruler and I'll trace around it. And I'll trace around on my sewing scraps and I'll save them squares. And so I've got quite a stack of them now that I've been cutting out and saving for to do like a 9-patch quilt or something like that. I might just make a bedspread. I don't know if I'd make a full-fledged quilt. Maybe just make a bedspread. 9-patch. I like 9-patch. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's so simple, and I just like the looks of them. I just do. I'd kind of like to make one where every other square is a 9-patch, and then every other square has something appliqued on it. That would be neat. It sure would. It sure would. That's something to think about right there. But I did that. Let me get my jug of squares and I'll show it to you. See, I'm going to go over there and get that jug of squares. Right here. Here's my jug of squares. Ain't you just thrilled? You know, little things like this make me happy. Whether I ever actually get that bedspread made or not, the process of starting on it and visualizing it in my head, and that makes me happy. But here's a big stack that I have been accumulating. See, it'll take a lot more than these. I think it'll take quite a bit more than these. But see, I've got this stack of them, and I've been cutting out squares of all different kind of colors and designs, and I've got some material I brought out today this is vintage, some vintage material. It might have been made in the 1950s. This light there is not very bright. This is kind of old material. It's not real old. Might be from 1980s. But here's some more of that. Let me put this with that other. No, yeah, this goes with that. I cut out a bunch of these today. Or scraps. Look at this. Big old stack of these. And look at there. This is pretty neat material right here. Ain't that something? It's kind of like a tapestry or crazy quilt with tons of embroidery. This is kind of an old this is an old material right here. And here's some more of that. I may put this with that. It's like a teal color. And this is from 1980s. And I'm pretty sure this is from the 1970s. What is this? It's just some pink. I forgot I had that. And some more pink. It's a little bit lighter shade. And it's red. And one of those. Some orange. That. That. That's pretty, I like that. Some more of that. I like it. Whole bunch of green. Now, ain't this beautiful? This is some vintage. This is some vintage. Yeah. Beautiful. And there's that. That's kind of dull, but it's cactus scenery anyway. Black. Here's some old vintage. I think these were cut from an old bed sheet. That's what this is from, an old bed sheet. I'd say the 1960s is what that looks like to me. Some of that. This is a replica of old flour sack towels, sacks that women used to sew with. It's a replica. I bought this material at Joann's fabric store several years ago. I bought it brand new. It's a replica of a 1950s design. And then there's that. And a green. And that's what I've got so far. Yep. I cut, let's see, how many of these did I cut today? How many did I cut today? Let me go back. I cut this many today. This many. Right there. So add this to my stack. Now I got that many. And now you have been introduced to my jug of squares. My jug of squares. Okay, now I'll show you these. These are strips of scraps that I've been saving, because you never know when you'll need a narrow strip. See, I got my narrow strips saved in there. So if I need to sew something, the strip, there it is, see? Put it on something. You use them for binding or to make ties or anything. Here, see, that's narrow. And then there's a folded strip of this. You see? What's this doing in here? Look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. It sure is. Look at this, y'all. That is beautiful. Wow. Look at this. Wow. Let me get a drink of water. Yeah, I gotta do something with this. For sure. Wow. This would make a beautiful Indian dress for a doll. I just make a very simple dress with this. Just 2 rectangles. Just cut the neck opening and leave the armholes, sew up the sides. That's it. There you go. That'd be beautiful. Shoot, yeah. Beautiful. Let me do a look here. Let me look at something here. Well, shoot. I gotta look at this and think about it. Well, I suppose, I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Sure could. Sure could. Sure could. Would make a beautiful Indian dress. So, what I can do is put that, ain't it something how I came across that? And now I got something beautiful I gotta make with it. Let me put this up. Yeah. Okay, now I'll show you what I did. This took a lot longer, what I did here. I cut out a bunch of Barbie outfits. I got several Barbie outfits cut out here. Tell you what, let's go over there where there's better light. And I'll turn that light on over there. I hope the video don't get screwed up. Well, here we go. If we get over here and turn this light on, and you can see much better. I'll move that. Now, boy, that is bright. Well, okay. Well, here's one outfit. See, I got the front and the back, and that's the facing I have to sew into it. The front and the back pieces. See. And here's a skirt piece. So there's that. And then there's this one. See, there's the front and the back. Here's the skirt. You see that pretty material? This is vintage. This is vintage. And this is old too. They're turned around the wrong way. Let me turn the skirt where you can see the color. See, here's the front and the back, and here's the skirt. Now look at that. This is old, and this is very soft cotton. And it's not thin, but it's not thick. It's just right, the way they used to make cotton material. I wish they still did. They could if they just would. If somebody just would, they could. It's such the quality of how they made cotton cloth decades ago is so much better than it is now. I'm testifying because I remember, in these past few decades, I've noticed the quality of cotton fabric go down. It's more threadbare now. It's just threadbare compared to how it used to be made. It's just almost a ghost of what it used to be. And gingham fabric, it used to be 100% cotton. And it was a much better quality than this see-through stuff they call gingham nowadays. And the modern gingham now, the last few decades, they've been making it something like 65% polyester. It sucks. And it's see-through because it's so threadbare. It's not very good. If you make a dress out of it, you will have to wear some kind of a slip under the dress because it'd be see-through. It's ridiculous. There's no sense in it. But, you know, and I especially remember in the 1970s when calico was really big time. It was really in style. It was all the rage, calico and calico dresses and things like that were all the rage there in the sewing world. And they had just some of the most beautiful calico prints and other prints they had back then in the 70s. Just beautiful stuff in the cottons. And the cotton fabric then was still decent. It was still decent. It wasn't quite what it was in the 50s. And I didn't even notice in the 60s, but I do remember stuff from the 50s because I learned to sew on stuff, fabric that my grandmother had saved from the 1950s. And so I know pretty much how it looks. You can tell what's modern and what's vintage pretty much. After you've seen some, you catch on pretty quick. But here's a teal dress and skirt, and I picked out a pattern as to make as simple as I can, but making Barbie clothes is never simple, though, because the pieces are so little bitty that they're hard to handle and manage. And here's this beautiful. I don't know if you can see it very well or not now. Ain't that pretty? Let's see, there's the skirt that goes with it. That's pretty. Anyway, this is vintage too. Beautiful. Yeah. What I'd like to do eventually is what I do with those glasses. I don't know. Well, here's these. I guess I could use these. My vision is blurry. It's very blurry right now, looking from here to the phone right there. My vision is blurry. And I'll put these on. Now I can see pretty good. Tomorrow I have to get ready for our road trip. I've got my dress here. I'm going to have to wash it, get it ready to wear. I've got to pack a small suitcase. I gotta bottle up a few vitamins. Those vitamin things I take, some of them are important that I take every day. Hold on a minute. There. There. Oh. Well, I guess that's about it. I don't really have anything new to tell you about. We're gonna leave the dogs here. When we go, we're gonna be gone for 2 days. Of course, we'll put out lots of bowls of water and feed, so, and puppy pads. We'll put puppy pads all in the kitchen by the back door. Just gobs of puppy pads. And they'll be okay till we get back. They might freak out a little, but they have each other, and they'll have the birds. They can listen to them birdies singing. Them sweet little birdies. I guess that's about it for now. Well, good night, y'all.